In this part we are gonna create the roughness map, the ambient occlusion map, and then we are gonna export everything so that in the next part we can present it in Marmoset Toolbag 3. I will start with the roughness map. Let's create some space. Or I can just move everything here. So I think I can keep these maps here, so I will just reroute this to get rid of those dots. So for the roughness, I will start by dragging a line from the mortar. Where do I have it? I have it here. And then I will have a levels here. Let's increase this a bit. And this will be the roughness of the mortar, so I will connect this here. And now I will have a blend to create the roughness of the tiles. I'm gonna go up to the base color and search for some noises that I have created. So I will have a connection from here. And then I will bring in a histogram range to smooth out these values. Range to 0.25. Position to 0.6. I will create some variation for this, so I will bring in a blend and I'm gonna have this ground dirt here. I think that I will drag everything forward. So this connection comes from the ground dirt. I will have add sub here with opacity of 0.2. And then I want to create one more layer of variation here, so I will have another blend. And I want the dirt one here. So we have the dirt one here at the base color. This comes from the mortar. So it seems this is a dirt tree, but we can use that also. I will just arrange these lines. Let's choose min darken here with an opacity of 0.15. And I will connect this here. Now I need a mask to separate the tiles from the mortar. For that I will go here to the base color and drag this flat fill to random grayscale. And let's connect this here. And having these different grayscale values here will get us different roughness levels for each of these pieces. So that's why I choose this flat fill to random grayscale. And I think that's it for the roughness. So let's label this and call it roughness. So the roughness of the mortar is pretty much uniform. As for the tiles, we have a bit of variation. So some of these tiles are more reflective than others. Now let's get to the ambient occlusion. This is the ambient occlusion. Let's drag it down. And I will drag this back for more space. So the ambient occlusion is quite a heavy node, so you might want to change the resolution to 2K if you haven't done it up to now. So here at the settings I will have the depth to 0.3 and radius to 0.015. Then I'm gonna duplicate this just to create some variation for the ambient occlusion. And at the second ambient occlusion I will have a depth of 0.12 and the radius of 1. And you can see the difference here. and then I will blend them. With the blending mode to multiply. Let's connect this to the output. Now I want to add some ambient occlusion to these patterns. So I will duplicate this ambient occlusion and I'm gonna drag a connection from the mortar, more exactly from these patterns. Let's change the depth to 0.07 and the radius to 0.05. And I'm gonna multiply this on top of the main connection. Let's set the opacity to 0.25. And I need a mask here, which will mask out my tiles. So I will go back to the height blend and I'm gonna take this mask. Let's see the before and after. So I need to invert this. And I think I'm gonna also auto level it. And now you can see that these deeper areas have more ambient occlusion. Next, I want to create even more variation for the ambient occlusion, and I want to have more ambient occlusion near the bigger tiles here. So for that I can take the mask of all tiles. We have this at the top pieces. So I will add a dot here. And bring in an ambient occlusion. And I will have the radius to 0.02. Now let's multiply this on top of the main ambient occlusion. And I will set this to 0.4. And as you can see, this will give me some more ambient occlusion near these bigger tiles. And one last thing I want to do is to create some more ambient occlusion at the margins of the tiles. For that I will use this mask of all tiles that we have here. And I will invert this. Let's bring in an ambient occlusion. Depth to 0.01. And a really small radius like 0.001, and this will get me the edges of these tiles. And let's blend this here. With an opacity of 0.5. And this will give us some ambient occlusion right at the margins of these tiles. You can see here. Let's frame this and call it ambient occlusion. And with this we finish the material, so we can go on and export this. For that you can go here at your substance graph and choose export output as bitmaps. And if you're working in 4K, you can just choose your export location and export this. But if you work in a lower resolution, what you can do is go here to this batch, and here you can select the resolution you want to export. You probably want to select 4K and just hit export. I'm going to export from the graph.